10.
The boys are back. That's right, Florida Man Sports is here with another exciting episode. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. This is Florida Man Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Florida Man Football.
Let's go.
All right, Chris, week 7 is done in the NFL. Interesting week as always. It's NFL likes to go ahead and screw as many Florida teams as possible, but we'll get to all that. But it started with, like we always start our show with our Florida teams here. Jacksonville, Miami, and Tampa all go down this week, Chris. Well, let's go ahead and start off with Jacksonville. Just give me your takeaway in general from what you saw from that game regarding Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, Florida Man Football, always streaming on all major platforms. Do like, share, and subscribe. Johnny Cinco, I have some news, some breaking news here at Florida Man Football.
What's that?
Jacksonville Jaguars, you have been exposed. We know who you are at this point of the NFL season. You know, when you lose one game to a good team, we said this game coming up, we're going to see who you are. Yeah. And then you lose back-to-back games to playoff contending teams. We know who you are. And so ultimately the fact that, you score 7 points and then 12 points in those outings tell me the big picture, Johnny. I want to look ahead on this team. I'm not even going to focus on the game because at the end of the day, I said earlier in the beginning of the season, I said that, for Jacksonville to win 8-9 games, I said that would be a success, trending in the right direction. Well, I still have them now because they won early, Johnny, at 8-9 wins, which is for me, because they started off hot, as a failure for the season to only win 8 or 9 games, which goes back to saying you've been exposed. You can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool me. Trevor Lawrence is not the answer. So what is the problem? And I'll finish with this. What is the problem when you win 8-9 games? Is you give a team like Jacksonville hope. That's the worst thing you can do for an NFL team is give somebody hope. Now you have another year of Trevor Lawrence. You have, of course, another year of Cohen because he just got there. But again, Jaguars, I'm sorry. I love you, Duval, but you've been exposed. You're not a playoff team. And I hate being right. You're going to win 8 to 9 games this season because of the early wins you had.
They've been exposed. Yes, they lost 2 straight games to playoff contending teams.
I hope
the game they won was against Kansas City, where people thought they'd won the Super Bowl.
Right.
That was the ugliest game-winning touchdown in the history of the NFL. They pulled off the victory, but still, early on in the NFL season, they're essentially overachievers. They pulled out some tough wins, and when you think they're going to go ahead and take the hump and show you, like, okay, continue to. The problem, Chris, it's not that they're just losing. They're not even competing. That's the problem. Yeah. These games are not close. Trevor Lawrence, like I've been saying, looks horrible. It's not about hope. You're in the minority, I think, that 8 or 9 wins is hope. No, you pick up Travis Hunter, who following his first touchdown looked pretty good in that game. That's the only highlight, the only good thing that came from that particular game.
I hate to cut, but garbage time, Johnny. Garbage time.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, but I'm trying to, be somewhat positive regarding the Jaguars here. But Trevor Lawrence isn't the answer. I do not care. I don't care. I'm sure he offended some people if you want to get pissed off about it. He's not. The same way that Tua is not the answer for Miami, Trevor Lawrence is not the answer for Jacksonville. I said it. I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah, I agree.
But we was talking about Tua, Chris. He's not the answer in Miami. Miami, again, loses spectacularly to Cleveland Browns. Tell me about Miami.
So the best way I can put this, because I don't want to beat a dead horse here, when we've said in Florida Man Football many, many times that we already knew about the cap situation to start the season. We already knew that previous injuries the last couple of years, we've always felt like this team could take the right jump, the right step. Don't blame it on Cheetah being hurt. I'm over. Just like I'm done, and I know that the Jaguars are exposed. I'm done with Miami football the rest of this season. Yep. Okay, I'm done. I'm over it. A $50 million quarterback has been benched in the past. It's been done. The Browns and Dolphins game, we're talking about Kirk Cousins. He was, $50 million type of quarterback, and he was benched. They're in the cap right now for like $40 some odd million, and he's on the bench. So it's been done. But bottom line is this. You've got McDaniels, who in this game, we said whoever loses this game is getting fired. Had Cleveland lost this game, the coach would be fired. Why is McDaniels still a coach of the Miami Dolphins? You're talking about a team, Johnny, that 25 years of 11 different quarterbacks throughout that span. 20 years since a playoff win. What are you waiting for? The thing that burns me, Johnny, and I'll finish with my little rant here for Miami is this. Look at what the Patriots did with Vrabel, right? Mayo was a bad year. 1 year and done. They pulled the trigger, boom, they cut the cord. It is what it is. And yet we still have to subject ourselves to McDaniels game after game, year after year. Look at the difference of a turnaround in 1 year, and yet the Miami Dolphins still can't make the playoffs in 20 some odd years. That's the problem that I have. I'm done with Miami football this year.
Yeah, but if you focus on the ownership, you can't compare the ownership for the New England Patriots with the ownership of Miami Dolphins. But why are we surprised? Honestly, I started thinking about this a little bit. One, last week, after last week's loss, after that collapse with Carolina, I'm like, put a fork in them. They're done. I'm checking out with Miami Dolphins. I'm sorry. They're done. No hope for them. And they lose this game. I'm not surprised that they did not fire their coach, because you have to look at this owner. And this owner, who was allegedly, not so allegedly, offered Flores $100,000 per loss. He wanted to tank to go ahead and get a good quarterback, get some good players. So it's not surprising that for him, he sees a losing team. He sees what's happening here. Why is he going to fire a coach? And you have to pay the remaining contract to that coach, even if you fire him. Why? He's fine with them losing. He knows that, okay, it's a losing product on the field. Let's continue losing. Why replace this coach and give a spark or do anything else? He sees what it is. We all know, we all see it. He's fine. The fact that he did not fire him after this game shows that he's going to ride it out with Daniels the rest of the year. He's fine with losing. He's hoping for that number one overall next year or something in the top 3. So he's fine with it. But clearly, the Miami Dolphins are done.
And Johnny, just to kind of put a fork in this, because I'm still so upset about all this. If Dolphin fans, if that doesn't make you upset, Johnny's 100% right. If that doesn't piss you off, man, get on the forums, do what you need to do. And by the way, when I say that, I'm done with them, but you better believe this is Florida Man Football. I'm going to keep giving you content, my take on it anyways, on a week-to-week basis. But as of right now, I'm asking ownership, somebody, to your point, Johnny, to do something, step up, be the bigger person, because all you're showing is that you're okay with losing. That's terrible.
Dude, Miami Dolphins fans, clearly, they're still fans, but I guarantee you, the ones I've spoken to, they've checked out for this year. They know the deal. They know what's happening here. They're done with everything else. They know they're stuck with Tua one more year.
Yeah.
Because he was due, I think, like $60 million or so guaranteed next year, something in that number. I got to look it up. It's right around there. So I'm sorry, I get what you're saying, but they benched Cousins because they had Penix. They had a top 10 pick and draft at quarterback, so they went ahead and utilized them. So maybe if Miami has somebody, I'm looking in college football. Is it Beck? No, Beck, who threw 4 interceptions in the collapse of the Hurricanes. So no, it ain't gonna be that guy. And so I don't know. We'll reassess, I guess, when the draft time comes around and see what's going to happen here. But Miami is stuck. Let's move on to the most painful loss of the week. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Monday Night Football. They're going against the Detroit Lions, and they lose. And then it wasn't really a much close game. It was a lot of crazy things happening. I can talk for about 3 hours about it. But Chris, tell me about this game. I'm only going to look at you. Go ahead, man.
Shout out to my dad, who said that, because I was forgetting this, to give kudos to the Lions for, by the way, this is all for effect, so I can be upset and go like this. But anyway, shout out to the Lions for the defense playing well, playing passionate football. Shout out to the Lions because overall, from a team and team perspective, they were the better team last night. So shout out to the Lions and kudos on that passion and the win. With that being said, Tampa Bay, I'm going to always call it for what it is. And let's start with Mike Evans. Okay, the catch, at worst, it was an actual catch. He barrel rolled and then lost the ball. Okay, at best, you look at the play. Go look at it right now after the show, of course, and you're going to see that it was pass interference. There's a no call. Baker Mayfield gets tripped, a real trip with a foot out in the air, no flag. And then I'm just calling it for what it is. You can call me whatever you want, folks, but I'm just being honest with you here. Okay. And then, of course, the one thing that I have never seen, look, I know that I look like I'm 24 years old, but I have seen,
switch those numbers.
I have seen a lot of football in my lifetime. And I have never seen a coach throw out the red flag and the refs look at it, say that he was wrong, but then find another reason to penalize the team. I have never seen that. And if you want to correct me on X, on social media, by all means do. I'm not arguing that it wasn't a first down because it wasn't a first down. That's not what the flag was thrown at. That was the wrong call. So my ending is this very short and not short and sweet here, Johnny. Ultimately, I give kudos to the Lions for winning the game, for being the better team. But I'm tired of games being put on the refs' hands, and I'm tired of the refs deciding games for us, especially on a team like the Bucs, who we are predicated on fourth quarter comebacks. We're predicated on the fact that we play the 2-minute warning, and you took it away from us. Shame on you. They said, "Ref, you suck. Ref, you suck." In the first quarter, the Lions were doing that, and then obviously they turned around and gave the Lions fans what they wanted. Refs, you guys suck.
That's a hurt man speaking right there. That is a hurt man. Listen, that game was crazy. We're going to see the Lions again in the playoffs.
So there's another one.
Believe that. So at the end of the day, the thing that hurt me the most, the fact that Mike Evans just came back and he's gone. He's gone essentially for the rest of the year. He may come back in the playoffs. You know, he's not coming back in the regular season. If he does come back, Tampa's going to have to make a deep run, which I expect him to do. And we'll see Mike Evans back in the playoffs. But it does hurt me because this officially will end his streak of 1,000 yards for 11 straight years. There's no way he's going to go ahead and complete that. And you start to think, is this it for Mike Evans, Chris? That's what comes in my mind. Where it's like, okay, he's going to come back in the playoffs. Whatever happens, happens here. But is this the end of Mike Evans?
I mean, I hate the question, right? For obvious reasons. But I got a better question than that almost, right? Will we ever get to see Evans, Godwin, Ibuka, and McMillan ever playing, sharing the same field? Remember, McMillan got hurt during the preseason, and that to me is the real question. That's terrible. You know, I don't think that Mike Evans goes out like this. I think that Mike Evans plays at least one more year before his
contract's up. So they give him a 2-year contract here. So you telling me that Tampa's going to resign him, or is he going?
I think that Jason Light has shown many times, like with the Godwin contract that you brought up a couple episodes ago, that he is more than willing to pay money for homegrown talent. And we know this. Evans does not belong in any other jersey. And so he will retire a Buck, is my hope. And he will play one more season with the Bucs to try to finish his career healthy. But again, like I said, for me, the biggest question, or the saddest question of anything, is that we'll never get to see Evans, Godwin, Ibuka, and McMillan, what that offense would have looked like this season.
It is possible we see that in the playoffs, but we're not seeing it in the regular season. But I disagree with you, Chris. I think this is the end for Mike Evans. Jason Light already gave him that contract. You know, when he signed him that contract, it was surprising. A lot of people expected they're not going to sign this guy. He's older. They're not going to do it. And they did. They signed him. They gave him the money when they didn't need to. They gave him like, here you go, homegrown. Here you go. This is for you. So for them to do it again, it doesn't make sense. They already gave the loyalty contract to Mike Evans, which a lot of franchises do not do. So I think Mike Evans, I'm hoping at the end of this, we should make a title run. And if we don't get there, or we get there, whatever it is, that Mike Evans goes ahead and retires a Buck. I hate to see him go ahead and do what a lot of great wide receivers do, to like, no, they don't want to let go. I didn't like seeing Jerry Rice in an Oakland Raiders jersey.
I hated that. Yeah.
I didn't like seeing him in a Seattle Seahawks jersey. So I'm hoping Mike Evans doesn't do that. But at the end of the day, you know,
I don't think he will.
Football players, they have a hard time letting go of things. They think they have more in the tank, and he still does have more in the tank. But still, with this particular injury, I think that we'll get to it, but I do not see him, Chris, after this particular year in a Tampa Bay uniform. I hope I'm wrong.
Okay, well, Mike Evans, and thank you for giving your all. Florida Man Football streaming on all major platforms. If you're just tuning in, we just went through our Florida teams here. Johnny Cinco around the NFL before we get into our picks this week. Any thoughts on anything that happened around the NFL? Caught your eye?
Well, a couple things here. You alluded to some of it, but I'll get to that. First things first is that the craziness of thinking about that right now. According to power rankings, Indianapolis Colts are the best team in football right now. And when you're looking at that, looking at Daniel Jones, you have to kind of scratch your head and think about the Minnesota Vikings, who are struggling right now with their quarterback situation. And they had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on their team last year. They let them both go. Yep. And now they're relying on Carson Wentz to go ahead and lead their room. It's not really working out very well. You know, J.J. Redick, they won that rookie. And I think that kid is going to, I say J.J. Redick, J.J. McCarthy, he's going to go ahead and be a quality quarterback. But my God, if they had just held on to one of those two guys, I think they transformed those two players and gave them the confidence they needed. Shout out to the coaching core in Minnesota Vikings. You go play for a year or so in Minnesota, you come out a true quarterback, who you're supposed to be. If you ever play for a New York franchise, or excuse me, a Jersey franchise, a fake New York teams, you saw what they do with their quarterbacks. Doesn't work out very well. So it was very interesting to see the power rankings and what Minnesota did. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I just have a serious beef, especially after watching the Tampa game where you alluded to all the examples you referenced. But even the week before, where you're looking at the Detroit Lions have a genius play call against Kansas City Chiefs, and they go ahead and throw it to the quarterback, score a touchdown. It's a touchdown. And then a phone call comes in from New York. I've never seen that New York, the referees in the field didn't throw a flag. It was a touchdown. They called down and say, since when the heck is a flag being called by somebody in New York? Somebody somewhere in there. That never happens there. Yeah. So it shames me to say that I think the integrity in the NFL is gone. We knew this was going to happen. We alluded to this. We talked about, okay, last season they started integrating gambling into the NFL, and we see what's happening. It's a complete joke of what they're doing. Everybody that's in the power rankings gets knocked out. I was also worried about Tampa Bay. They're number one. They're going to get knocked down. They know they didn't make their money in their bets. Everybody's going to bet in the top team, and then, oh, nope, it's going to happen. It's happening week after week after week. It's becoming so obvious, and it's unfortunate. It's such a great game that's losing its integrity, and that's really the biggest takeaway. It's solidified for me that I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Want to talk about conspiracy theories or whatever.
Right.
No, the NFL has their hands mixed in with the gambling nonsense, and it's affecting the outcomes of the game.
It's so funny because we don't clearly, if you have been avid watchers here, we don't plan on what we're going to say or anything like that. But the fact that we're on the same page here, Florida Man Football, says a lot about the refs and the way that this season is going so far. With that being said, we know the plus and minus in these wins are kind of rocky this season for Florida Man Football. Johnny Cinco has been taking the edge here, so this is your week for the picks. Yep. Obviously, we're keeping in mind that in this episode, like we said, after this, we're going to go over the divisional winners going forward because we're in the middle of the season. So I'll
do the last week.
So I did excellent when you don't gamble and just have fun.
Okay.
All right. Is that a good answer? I did excellent. So with that being said, there's playoff implications starting now for some of these teams. Yes, right now with 10 games left in the season, Johnny Cinco. So let's kick it off with Thursday Night Football. The Minnesota Vikings, the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are the home team in this one for Thursday Night Football. Who is winning this game? Right now, the money line says Chargers.
Really close game. I really like this. Is going to be an outstanding game. If the Vikings had held on to Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold, this will be a clear victory for them. It's going to be closer than a lot of people think, but I think the home team wins this. Chargers win.
Chargers win. Let's talk about Sunday football here. Got to talk about our Miami Dolphins here. They're on the road going to Atlanta, who has, as of late, been playing some good football.
Falcons.
Who's winning this game?
Falcons are winning this game. Not only they're playing in Atlanta, it doesn't matter where they're playing. It really doesn't. The Miami Dolphins have checked out. The Falcons, you would say they're playing good football. No, the NFL handed them a victory last week, but still, they are going to beat Miami. The only team I would have to second guess myself when Miami plays is when they're playing the Jersey Jets, but they're not. Falcons are winning this game.
And ultimately, I'm going to ask every single week now because it's the question I always like to ask. When they lose this week, is the coach getting fired?
No, coach is going to ride out the whole season.
New York Jets, talking about the Jersey Jets, Johnny Cinco. They are traveling, going to Cincinnati, where Cincinnati last week pulled that upset against Pittsburgh in the old man game, the Bengay game. Who's winning this game?
Now, when I'm looking at a winless team, you have to kind of look and see, where are they going to get their wins? They're going to have to win a game eventually. So they're looking here in Cincinnati against the Bengals. This is clearly a team that they should beat. They're not going to beat them. The Bengals are winning this. The Jets are that bad. It is not happening. I do not care. They're going 0-8.
Even with a change at quarterback.
I would not, even more so, because let's see.
I like Taylor.
Okay, what did Tyrod Taylor do when he came in the game last week? He threw a nice pick. So Tyrod Taylor is a vet. He's not a significant upgrade from Justin Fields. He's just somebody that can throw the ball a little bit better, doesn't run, but you're taking away the running aspect here. So they can easily game plan for Tyrod Taylor. Bengals are winning this game. He want that terrible defense.
Bengals are winning at home. Cleveland Browns, Johnny Cinco, they had that W that we talked about a little bit earlier, taking on the revamped, renewed New England Patriots. Patriots are at home. Who's winning this game?
Now, everybody's hyped up about the Patriots. See Drake May, see what's happening here. It's really, hearing some Patriot fans kind of aggravate me and gives me a headache because while the Patriots are I expected to do better with Mike Vrabel, with Drake May, with the offensive line, they are a better team. Yes, this is a trap game, 100% a trap game. And Chris, this year more than any other, whenever we look at a trap game, it's always a trap game. It is a trap game here. The Browns are going to beat the New England Patriots. It's just because of, for whatever reason,
Wow.
I have to pick my wins and losses based on the fact that, okay, NFL sees the Patriots are getting a little too high. Let me go ahead and knock them down a peg. And that's what the NFL is going to do in this game. You're going to see a bunch of plays. You're going to see a bunch of things. It's going to be back and forth. Browns are going to get the calls that nobody expects them to get. And somehow this Browns team and that defense is going to win in New England. I thought I'd never say this a couple years ago. Browns are win this game, trap game.
I see you learned from me last week, taking notes. Awesome.
Right.
The New Jersey Giants are also traveling, Johnny Cinco. They're going to Philadelphia, 1:00 game. Who's winning this game?
After the greatest collapse in NFL regular season with the Giants last week, they were just such an abysmal performance there. The Eagles are coming off, I do not see the Eagles losing to the Giants, even though the Giants, you think they were rebound up that atrocious. No, the Giants just got kicked in the nuts. Kicked in the nuts bad. And you would rebound a game like that if you had a veteran quarterback, you had a Brady, you had a Baker Mayfield, you had some type of veteran presence. You don't have that. You have a Rook. Rook ain't rebounding from that, not against the defending champs. Eagles are winning.
Yeah, Philly's playing better balls of late. Brown got the ball, so did Smith last game. So definitely agree with you there. The Buffalo Bills, Johnny Cinco, going to Carolina, where we're finding a Carolina Panther team playing for a playoff spot right now. Who's winning this one?
Surprisingly, essentially the same record. The Carolina Panthers are 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are 4-2-1, which is basically the same damn record, though. So super surprising. So you want to look at this and you also think maybe some trap game here. But the NFL is going to go ahead. They allow the Bills to lose the games they want them to lose. They're not going to lose this particular game. The ratings, the dollars are pointing towards Buffalo, not Charlotte. So it's going to be the Buffalo Bills on this.
Speaking of dollars, Chicago's playing better football these days as well. Better year two here for our the quarterback that I was very hard on. Taking on the Baltimore Ravens at home. Now, Johnny, I don't know if Jackson is coming back this game or not. The money line says Baltimore -6.5. Who's winning this one?
Listen, the Ravens can't win without Lamar Jackson. We know this. That's just what it is. This team is not doing anything without Lamar. They're not winning a single game without Lamar Jackson. I don't care who they play outside the Jersey Jets. They're not winning a single game without Lamar Jackson. And that's the thing is Lamar going to play? I'm going to assume that he's not going to play, and the Bears are going to win this.
Wow.
The reports you read right now is that Lamar is not going to play.
I don't have any confirmation that he's playing. Correct. Yeah, no confirmation that he's playing.
Okay, so you're not giving me any.
He's not. As of right now, he's not playing.
The reports I read said he may play this week. He may actually go and play. So that's maybe. But I'm gonna have to make my picks today. It is what it is. So with Lamar not playing, the Bears are going to win.
Wow. San Francisco has had a very good run, much better than Lewis's fantasy football team has. Johnny Cinco, they're finding ways to win. They're traveling to Houston. Houston's just continues to lay egg after egg, but they are the home team. Who's winning this one?
They are the home team there, so you have to kind of look and see the situation. Again, I don't know if Brock Purdy's coming back, if Mac Jones is the guy, what's happening here. Mac Jones is playing good football. He had one, mediocre game here, but the guy looks like, he has the poise. He has everything that the Patriots thought they got when they drafted him. So he looks like the real deal there. They are playing in Houston there. Again, trap game, you have to worry about that, what's going to happen here. But I have to go ahead and I'm hoping that if Brock Purdy plays, honestly, I'll kind of lean more towards the Texans. I got to make my pick today. Niners are winning against the Texans.
Wow. The game of the week, folks, 4:00 game here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers look to bounce back against the New Orleans Saints. Of course, the Saints are the home team, Johnny Cinco. Before you give me who's going to win this game, I just want to throw out there that if you don't pick the Bucs, I'm going to burn your house down.
Well, thank you for that. It is interesting because if the Bucs had won last week, I would honestly look at this game and say, no, the NFL, because I've alluded to, I didn't allude to it. I said very clearly that they're controlling the outcomes of games. I would say no, they're going to knock down the Bucs a peg because it's how they are for money for whatever reason. Everything I alluded to, but in this particular game, because the Bucs are coming off a loss and they're a significantly better team than the Saints, the Buccaneers are beating the Saints in New Orleans.
Let's go. Like we do every week. This is the Florida Man football consensus. So we're both in agreement of all these picks. And I just want to double down with that since it is the Bucs, Johnny Cinco. And I want to say that, something I've said in the past too, that this team is a playoff team. And the sign of a playoff team after losing a hard game is that they go out and they win this type of game. So go Bucs. Dallas and Denver, Johnny Cinco. I've said the Dallas Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. They beat Washington last week. Denver continues to find ways to win tough games. Denver is the home team here. The money line says Denver -3.5. Who is winning this one?
I mean, it's tough to continue to win games when you're scoring all of your points in the fourth quarter and you're finding a way to do things here. I really do like the Broncos in this game. The problem is that I have to make my picks based off of what trickery, what nonsense is the NFL going to pull? And the NFL wants the Cowboys to go ahead and rebound and get some victories. They want the Cowboys in the playoffs, and they're not going to allow them to go ahead and be under 500 at this point. So Cowboys are beating the Denver Broncos.
Another spoiler. Let's talk a little bit, speaking of spoiled. The Tennessee Titans, Johnny Cinco, new coach. Not very different results there, more or less. The Colts, the number one team in the power rankings, like you said.
You know how I roll.
They're in Indy. Who's winning this game?
I mean, I've been saying it week after week. If you end up in the top of the power rankings, you're going to lose the next game here. But this team is playing the Tennessee Titans. Okay. So let's just slow down. Let's just slow down here. Okay.
So stupid.
100%. I would say, honestly, if they're playing anyone else outside of the Titans or Jets, I would say like that the Colts are going to lose because how the NFL kind of formulates things. But they know this is too obvious. They know, no, we can't have this. We can't have the Colts lose against Tennessee. This Tennessee Titans team is so bad. Cam Moore looks so atrocious. It's not going to be this week here. So maybe the Colts, once they win this, they can knock down the peg next week. But right now, the Colts are beating the Titans.
The money line was -14.5 Indy. So thank God you picked the Colts there on that one. And just real quick on the Titans, do you think that he's having a worse season than Williams did last year? Just as a curiosity.
Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Cam Ward looks lost. And you can blame the coaching, offensive line. But you see things from rookies. You see things that sound like some flashes. I haven't seen those flashes. I haven't seen anything else. The one win they got, they needed the Arizona Cardinals to just throw up all over themselves offensively and defensively, and they just gave it to them. So no, the Titans, Cam Ward, everything there looks terrible.
I agree with you. Let's talk about Sunday Night Football, the game of the week of the night, of course, which is Green Bay, who just came back of back-to-back great wins. You got Pittsburgh, who laid the egg in the Senior Bowl. Pittsburgh is the home team, though. Are they right in the ship? Who's taking this one?
I mean, Green Bay can play in Pittsburgh. They know what's going on there. Green Bay, that was tough, when we saw that the one loss they did in the tie. I can't stand that tie they did, and it still drives me nuts, even though it happened a couple of weeks ago. The Steelers, it's hit or miss, bro. Like the Aaron Rodgers looks like old Aaron Rodgers. Like I should say that way. Like they guess Aaron Rodgers from 10 years ago at points, but sometimes it looks like old Aaron Rodgers. So this was actually the most difficult game for me to go ahead and pick. Looking at this particular game, they're playing at home in Pittsburgh here. Can the old man come through and really show some things? I think honestly this is going to be a very high scoring game, but that defense looked so horrible for Pittsburgh last week. So bad. Rodgers looked good. He kept doing his thing, and the defense could not stop them. Do I think this defense is going to stop Jordan Love? I do not. Green Bay's won this game.
Wow. I was thinking that we were going to lie on the fact that Pittsburgh's going to lose back-to-back games, but I completely agree. I agree that Pittsburgh defense is sus to say the least. Let's wrap this one up here. Florida Man Football streaming on all major platforms. We've got the Commanders coming off that loss. The Kansas City Chiefs playing Chiefs football as of late, Johnny. The money line says -10.5 Kansas City. Who you got?
This is one of those other ones I'm telling you, I would pick the Commanders. I really would pick the Commanders. I think they're the better team, but they're playing at home. And the NFL, they showed us like, okay, we're going to call – when they call a correct game, Kansas City usually loses because it's not as good as people think they are. But we've seen with the NFL, they're reversing the thread. They're like, nope, we're going to go ahead and give them the Kansas City treatment. I do not expect Kansas City to not get that Kansas City treatment at home. Kansas City is going to win this game. We have to listen to the commenters just drew all over Mahomes all Monday nights. So I'm not looking forward to that, but the Kansas City Chiefs are winning this game.
Yeah, they got to get married, and the Swift, what is it? Swifties are out there.
Freaking nonsense here. But at the end of the day, I mean, these are the picks. Trust in Johnny. Please, last time I went 12-4. So for the most part, guys, I never let you down. So continue to go with it there.
For the most part.
I mean, one week I went one game over 500, so it's fine. But every other week, I still was on point here. It's all right. I know you're ashamed on your picks. You didn't want to say your record. It's okay, man. It's fine.
Listen. We all have our bad week. In this case, we can very much say that the refs and the NFL have a lot to say. But yes, Johnny, so far you're winning at the midway point. The picks.
Dominating.
We still got more weeks to go.
Well, let's move on, Chris. Here's finally. Let's go ahead and lock down who we think at this point. We're not quite at the halfway point, but we're close enough.
Yeah.
Now it's 17 weeks here, so we're close enough here. We've seen enough football to finally go ahead and make our picks for each division. Trust in Florida Man football. We will tell you. I don't know. Again, we would recommend you against betting. There are some bets on who's winning the division here, but we're going to give it to you, and more often than we're right than wrong here. So let's go and start with the NFC. Chris,
yeah, absolutely.
I want you to go ahead and tell me who is going to win the NFC East.
The AFC East, to be the man.
NFC.
Oh, we're doing NFC first?
You want to start AFC?
Let's do AFC first. Let's do AFC first.
Go AFC. Go ahead.
More because I already have the notes on the AFC first. So to be the man in the AFC, Johnny Cinco, you got to beat the man, and not in October. I know that the Patriots beat the Bills earlier in the season, but you got to beat them when it counts. December 14th, on my birthday, the Patriots and Bills meet again. That's when the Bills are going to win, unfortunately, Johnny Cinco. This division, at least for one more year, it's Buffalo's, in my opinion. So give me the Bills to come out on top of the AFC East. And, of course, we know that the Dolphins and the Jets aren't doing anything else.
No, I honestly agree with that. At the end of the day, I need proof of concept. And we've seen plenty of, the New England Patriot, division championships, but not with this team, not with Drake May, not with this coach. So you got to knock down, who's the king of the North right now, and that's them. So
yeah,
it's Buffalo Bills. So good call. Moving on, Chris, the AFC East, who is winning?
No, the AFC
West. Sorry, AFC West.
Well, AFC, that was the AFC East. So now this is the AFC North. AFC North.
What? I get to tell you what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, that was the AFC East. That was already the AFC East.
AFC West.
Oh, okay. AFC West. Dang it. I hate you the way I have my notes.
Oh, my God.
That's fine.
Fine. Go with your AFC North.
The AFC North.
Okay, go.
We can eliminate the Browns for trading Flacco in their division. Right.
Okay.
We can
limit the Browns.
We can eliminate the Bengals for trading for Joe Flacco in their division. That's gonna bite them in the butt in the long haul.
Already?
This will be Rodgers' last stance. And I'm gonna tell you something. The best coach in the division is Tomlin. The best QB, while the other two are hurt, is Rodgers. Pittsburgh will win this division. You heard it here first. And while this season, your boy here, I'm adamant, he's got the better picks this year so far. You know that Florida Man football, time and time again, has called these divisions and championships. Yeah. So I'm very happy to say I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and it's the most logical sense. I mean, at the end of the day, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson injury, they're done.
Right.
Browns are the Browns. Are we kidding me? Burrow going out. He's not going to be back for several weeks. They're done. So it's Pittsburgh's division to lose. This is honestly the easiest division for us to choose, I think. So good call on Pittsburgh. Can I go to the AFC West? Or
AFC South.
Oh, my God, I hate you. The AFC South, Chris, who is winning the AFC South?
I just told you that Jacksonville is going to be 500, maybe one over. Texans and Titans aren't scaring anyone. We already know that. And so let's be real, guys. The Indiana Jones is real. He's having the type of Mayfield type of season. Colts aren't surprising anyone anymore. Let's be real here. It's real. Get used to it. And not only the Indiana Jones, Johnny Cinco, but that team overall, if you looked at this last year, you would say, dang, if they just had a quarterback. Well, now it looks like they do. Colts are winning this division. Can't believe I'm saying that.
Every one of these teams, we've seen everything we need to see from them. They've been exposed, good and bad. Jaguars have been exposed badly. Texans have been exposed badly. Titans are a complete joke.
Right.
I knew they were a joke. They're going to be a complete joke for a while because Cam Ward's not the guy. And we've seen what Daniel Jones can do. He's faced some playoff contended teams. He's faced some scrubs, and he's won almost all of them. all in all, it's an easy pick here. The Colts are winning this one.
Let's go.
Now, Chris, the AFC West. AFC West, Chris, who's winning?
Raider Nation did not expect to be 2-5 at this point. Let's be real. Nobody did. We didn't expect it. Sorry, Lorenzo. You got two teams at 4-3, well, 1-5-2. So essentially here in this division, Johnny, we have some contenders and we have some pretenders. I'm going to tell you something. The Chargers, I hate to say this, Johnny. I hate to say it, but I feel like they're pretenders.
So good.
I feel like they're pretenders. I feel like they have so much potential. They look like they're winning solid games. You look at Herbert, like he's finally having an amazing game. He's the guy. He's the one. And then they lay some eggs. So the Broncos are at 5-2. They got a serious coach's game plan, but they're peaking a little too soon for me. They're a team that doesn't know how to win in the long run. They're not a veteran type of team. So for me, it's very clear, Johnny. And of course, like what you alluded to earlier with the refs, this division is still Kansas City's. I believe Patrick Mahomes still has another year. Now, I know that you did say in previous episodes that, there's always a team that kind of falls off. I just, with Swift getting married and with Patrick Mahomes winning so many Super Bowls. He's a caliber champion type of player. I have Kansas City for one more year winning this division.
I would love to argue against it. At the end of the day, Kansas City is not the best team in this division,
right,
even with everything you're saying there.
Yeah.
But the NFL refuses to let them go.
Right.
Like, no. Like they're just refusing to, like, no, we're not going to let you. They're gifting them one more opportunity. I do not care if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. You are, congratulations, good. For whatever reason, this owner and Goodell, they're boys. This guy has some dirt on him. I don't know what's going on here. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the division. They mean the playoffs. And they have no business being in the playoffs. They had no business being in the Super Bowl last year, and they were forced to play a good game, call a good game, and then we saw what happened. They got blown out.
Right. But
Kansas City, we'll see how long NFL's going to let this go.
I have to believe that pedigree is going to come out when it's said and done. And a team like Denver, like I said, is just going to not ready yet. They're doing well, but they're not there yet.
I still believe in the Chargers. I think the Chargers are the better team in that division,
yeah.
But NFLs aren't going to allow that. Moving on to the NFC, Chris, the NFC East. Is that okay with you?
That is perfectly okay with me.
The NFC East, Chris. I know you've talked a lot about your love for the Dallas Cowboys. You wish you were in Dallas. You love them so much. You want to marry them. Who is winning the NFC East?
Listen, can you deny that Dak is not playing MVP type of football right now? Can you tell me that's not?
I can deny it.
No, you can't. He's
3-3.
He's elevating. He's elevating this Cowboys team to believe that they're better than they are, that helps. And that's what helps.
That's what drives
teams. That's what helps teams win.
No.
With that being said,
the Cowboys. You look at his stats. Real quick. I know you're going to call it. You look at his stats, and a lot of his stats are in junk time and losing games. So you're going to be like, oh, look at this. Baker Mayfield legit was MVP still, even after that game, not his best game. I still have Baker Mayfield up there. He's still leading his team, number one in his division. He still obviously looks like the real deal. He's still doing everything he needs to do. Dak is getting his stats in junk time. So he had a great game last week. So I'm not looking at one game that's scoring 40-plus points, and one game think, oh, MVP. No. Most of his stats are because he's playing from behind because the Cowboys stink, and he's racking those stats.
So Dak is playing MVP-like football, folks. And I didn't say I had him higher than Mayfield or other quarterbacks for that matter, but he is in that conversation, and rightfully so. He's elevating the game for the Cowboys. The fact that they've meshed so fast with Pickens, the fact that with Lamb back and Ferguson playing elite tight end, you've got a dynamic team on offense that's just hoping and praying to get this defense on the right track. With that being said, I have the Cowboys winning a wild card spot because the Eagles still have a stronghold in this division. The Eagles are still there. Again, you got the whole thing about having to beat the man. They're Super Bowl winning champion. They've got the pedigree. They proved this last week that they can get Brown and Smith back on track. So give me the Eagles to win, but I do have the Cowboys, yes, making the wild card spot, making the playoffs.
Maybe. The NFC isn't as strong as the AFC this year, but saying possibly. But at the end of the day, I thought I was going to have to, enough with the damn Cowboys. Let's follow the order that I'm guessing you want to do. Is the NFC North?
NFC North. Let's go.
My God, thank you. I got it.
Toughest division in football. False. fake news. Okay, it's still got to shake itself out. Detroit is going to win this division, Johnny. I hate to say it. Yes, Chris, you heard it. You guys are winning by default, subpar team. The tie is going to hurt the Packers, like I said it would. Strength of schedule dictates that the Lions win. Bears are only going to win about 4 more games the rest of the season. So again, give me the Lions to win.
I would have a lot more respect for the Packers if they weren't such P words, because they should have went
P words. This is PBS Kids.
They should have went for the win. If you lose, you lose. But you're in a divisional game and you went for the damn tie. Like it's just, I mean, excuse me, not a non-divisional game. And you went for the damn tie. It's like, what a bunch of pansies. That's the P word I was referencing. So,
okay, all right.
Moving on to the NFC South, Chris. Who is winning this division?
Florida Man Football, streaming on all major platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. Folks, you came to the right place to hear the right content, where at the end of the day, Panthers, they are what I call smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. For the Panthers to catch up to the Bucs, to have a winning season, they'd have to win 7 out of the next 10 games, and they're not going to do that, Johnny. It's really that simple. You Carolina Panthers, I hope you're listening. You're not winning 7 out of the next 10 games. Bucs are winning the division. Nothing to see here. We're gonna peak at the right time and get healthy. Let's go Bucs.
I mean, agreed. I mean, Carolina, I said before the season that they're going to be better than a lot of people think. And people are like, oh, yeah, of course, because they were so atrocious last year. But they were. They're playing decent football. You know, they're trying to make it work, and they are making it work. But yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winning this division. It's a no-brainer. Moving on to the final and really the most difficult division in football, the NFC West. Chris, who is winning this very tough division with 3 of the 4 teams by the
That's the first thing I got on my list. That's the tough division in football. You know, the Seahawks are playing football, playoff football in October. If you're watching them play, the Niners are finding, to your point, these ways to win these games, no matter who the quarterback is. The bottom line, this division is going to run through the Rams. When it counts and you watch all these games, you go back to the pedigree of the person who won a Super Bowl, which is Matthew Stafford and McVay. So at the end of the day, when I think about a team like the Niners, who are just riddled with injuries and quarterbacks, but are winning. And when I think about the Seahawks peaking a little too early, the Rams, to me, Johnny, come out and they stick out, even though they're 3rd right now in that division, even though they have the same record because of divisional wins. Give me the Rams to supersede them, and give me the Rams to win the toughest division in football.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if those 3 teams all make the playoffs. But yes, I agree the Rams are winning the that division, but I can easily see the Seahawks and the Niners going ahead and getting in a wild card and shaking things up in the playoffs. Sam Darnold is playing very well. Everything is working out for him the way they hope for the Seahawks. Right. We weren't really sure. We're trying to figure it out, but props to them. It's going to be an exciting season, Chris. It has been exciting.
Absolutely.
You know, the best it can be. Just the NFL is just trying a little too hard to kind of ruin just the excitement to a bit. But because for us, we're looking at these games, Chris, and what we want are just competitive games. We want truthful games.
Right.
We want things called correctly, and let the chips fall where they may. Right. And when we don't see that, it's it breaks my heart a little bit, Chris.
It breaks your heart.
It breaks my corazón.
That's not bad. You have to have a heart for it to be broken. But listen, folks, at the end of the day, Johnny Cinco, before we close out this show, I know we normally do a little, fantasy football type of segment before we close, put a ball on this one. But I mean, we did go over our divisional. Yeah. So any thoughts on at this point, if you haven't already made a trade? I think we kind of beat the horse last week. What do you think?
Right now, you know where you stand. You already know if you have no shot for the playoffs, if you have a shot, if you're in, you have to really. There's some guys who have 1 loss, some guys 2 losses. You're looking pretty good. Unless you have a complete collapse, you should be in the playoffs. But if you're 500, a game in 500, you really have to assess your team, really look and see, do I need to make moves? Pay attention to your bye weeks. Pay attention who has one, what's going on here, what's going to work out in your best. But stop being so scared to make moves. It's a part of it, always. I mean, there was right after the draft, I was proposing some trades in our league just because sometimes you want to gamble a little bit in that. It's like, hey, I don't know. Nothing's happening. Let's go and give it a shot. And people forget this is a game to have fun. But sometimes go ahead and take that shot. See what's going on there. Stop being such pansies and scared to make the moves here. Of course, you're still going to have the guys who send ridiculous trades, who are going to take advantage of the guys who are out of the playoffs here. Shout out to commissioners that don't allow that nonsense to happen.
That's a good point.
So just look at it and make sure that, guys, if it's time to make a move, make a move. Don't necessarily trade your whole team. Some people like to go and make 3 or 4 man trade. You know anybody like that, Chris? It's perfectly fine to trade one player.
But you would have accepted it. Look, at the end of the day, if right now this week at some point you sent a trade to trade away Mike Evans now, and you somehow just send out a trade after this injury, or if you message someone, think something like Rashid White is available for a trade now, knowing that Bucky Irving is coming back, shame on you. Turn off your phone. Go take a nap. Because if you're that guy or those guys, and you know who I'm talking to, just the little power button, turn that off.
I mean, the idiocy of individuals who want to go ahead and who are losing, and they have players the entire season on IR, and they're not helping you. And people are offering you something, and you're saying, no, I'm saying no to this trade because of who this guy was last year. What's he doing for you right now?
Exactly.
Nothing. So you want to see and hoping for the potential in the future. You can't think about the future when you're losing in the present. It doesn't make any sense. You need to make moves to help you win that particular. All you can do is, what can I do to win this week? Don't worry about next week right now when you have those guys in IR and you're losing. But you want to hold on to them. This is what happens. You hold on to somebody and you try to say, ha, he's back in. And I'm not happy about it. But those guys who clearly don't know fantasy football, they remind us that they do not know fantasy football.
He's Johnny. I'm Christian. We're out, y'all. Florida Man Football.
Boy.